Hey up, birdies. Are you okay this morning? Sean, Sienna? You're very beautiful, despite the fact that everybody hates you. But I know how that feels. Are you going to fly away? Because I'm talking to you. Are you? I'm not going to hurt you. Rosie's... Oh! I say Rosie's not here today. Sorry. Good morning, Bear Fam. Welcome back to my channel. I've had a period of a week to self-reflect, to dig into the dark recesses of my mind. Self-reflection. A lot of you have asked me why I didn't apologise for my horrific behaviour straight away, and the reason I didn't is because I've seen many people that have done something they shouldn't have done instantly apologise, whether they be media stars, YouTubers, whatever, and it's always struck me as manufactured to get them out of the cack. Now, that's not the way I roll, and if you're a proper Bear Fam member, you'll know that. Now, what I'm saying now is not scripted in any way. I don't have a management team. I don't have a publicist. So, it's from my heart. And that's what my channel's always been about. Just honesty. And we've always said, haven't we, those of us that are happy here have always said, if you don't like it, why don't you move on? But now I've had time to reflect, I've had time to dig into my dark corners, and I think that's the one thing that's upset me about all this, is the people on their high horses that have assumed that they're perfect. They make no mistakes. The people that have hit home the most are the genuine people that have said, look Lise, we support you, however what you said was inappropriate, it was wrong, we don't support that. If you come back, that's up to you. If you don't, that's also up to you, but we support you anyway because we're family. And after all, that's what family does. I mean, I can't imagine if Ellie did something wrong and I disapproved of it and it, upset me badly, that I'd cut her off and never speak to her again. I've been on the end of that, and that's not what parenting's about. On the day in question, we'd had a busy day out, Baby Bear and I wasn't as attentive to my editing as perhaps I should have been. If I'd heard myself say that, not only would I have given myself a bit of a talking to, probably would have been shocked at myself, and I if you don't understand that, then that's fine. But I've had lots and lots of time to reflect on this, and I've seen lots and lots of hatred towards me, some of which I can understand, some of which I don't understand. Somebody compared me to a paedophile, and I found that quite difficult to correlate in my brain. How do you judge people's mistakes? How do you grade them? Have you, hand on heart, swearing on somebody that you dearly love, never said something that you regret? You've never had a word pop out of your mouth and then wondered why on earth it did it? No? Just me then. I'm not after a pity party, as somebody put it. I'm not after clickbait thumbnails. Look back through the channel, that really isn't what we're about. I've made sure most days that we haven't done that. I mean, there were a few occasions during the summer when all that was going on that maybe I fell into that trap. But that was rectified. Yeah, that was sorted. Now, another reason I didn't apologise at the time is because no matter what you say, it always sounds like you're making excuses. And I tried to explain myself straight off the bat and ended up digging myself into a bigger hole. When I was growing up, there were various charities that had what would now be deemed inappropriate names. People used language day in and day out that would now be deemed inappropriate and offensive. And that's not an excuse. I'm just telling you that I'm from an era where that is part of my makeup. Let's face it, we are all products of where we came from and how we were brought up. During my police service, we had quite intensive diversity training. And I would say to such an extent that people became, people became very guarded about what they said. So day in and day out at work, you had to second think everything you said, because there were supervisors and staff that just wanted to jump on it. And my last posting was in an environment where that was hugely prevalent. I was an investigator, investigating people's complaints against the police. I had to be whiter than white, or blacker than black, or, you know, we weren't even allowed to say whiter than white. We weren't allowed to say nitty gritty. And if you don't know why, go and look it up. But there were lots of phrases that you weren't allowed to use that were part of my makeup, part of my backstory. So for the first 10 years of my service, what I'm saying didn't really apply. I guess it was around 1999, 2000, that diversity training and watching what you said became a big part of my work. And you may think that's odd, or not odd, but you may not really sort of like, yeah, so what? Well, having to be that person that never puts a foot wrong, that person that's always politically correct, that person that is the measuring stick. I did that for 20 years, and all of a sudden now I'm free, I'm me. I can do and say what I want to say. Now, using that word isn't essentially me at all, but I'm in that stage where I want to rebel. I want to prove that I'm free. I want to show everybody that I don't have to comply anymore. And during my self-reflection and digging into those deep holes, that's the only thing I can see that has motivated me to be so vile. There is no excuse. There is no excuse. And if you want to leave our channel because of it, I'm sure you already have, but if you want to leave the channel because of it, then of course you can. You have the power. So I messed up again. The thing is with me and messing up is that I don't hide generally. I mean, I've been under a rock for a week because the hatred was just so strong. But I've had to have a good look in the mirror and ask myself if I want to show Baby Bear that we give in to bullies. And I've had to tell her recently on many occasions, you know, stand up tall, walk past them, walk up to them, ask them what their problem is, you know, front it out, be strong. And here I am hiding under a stone. So that has become part of my reflection as well. Do I give in to people? And then there have been two camps, really. There have been the trolls that are just, you know, telling me to go and kill myself. And then there are people with genuine, you know, I'm disabled, this has happened to me, I've been called names all my life. This brought back horrific memories for me. And they're the ones that have made me shed a tear. They're the ones that have, excuse me a minute, my dog's running away. Moo, where are you going? I'm over here, baby. Moo, what you doing? What you doing? Where you going? Where were you going? I lost you, Boo. I lost you. Where were you? Hey, where were you? Oh, babies. What are you going that way for, Moo? Alright, Moo senses something not nice ahead. There we go. Where was I? I actually can't remember what I was saying. Look, we all mess up in life. Oh, I think that's where I was. Me more than most. I've been through a strange couple of years. My life has changed. And I wouldn't say for the worse. I've got an illness that brings me a lot of pain and discomfort. I've got depression and anxiety, which are weirdly helped as much as hindered by YouTubing. So I've been backwards and forwards like a tennis match. Carry on, don't carry on, carry on, don't carry on. And those of you that are sending me messages to how dare you consider carrying on? You're disgusting. First of all, they hurt because I'm human. But then you reflect and think, well, maybe I am disgusting. Maybe they don't, that's their right to disagree with me. And I guess in the past I have been, half the bear phone tell me to block and ignore messages, and then when I do block and ignore messages, I then get criticised for removing messages. I'm assuming when I block them, they get removed, because I've never removed a message. I have blocked people, so I'm assuming that takes the message down. I'm not sure. So I have blocked people, but then I get criticised for it. One camp say ignore it, don't look at it, and the rest are saying, how dare you not show my hatred to the world. I don't know. I think what's become transparent since doing YouTube is that you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. I've tried my hardest along the way to try and take on board everything people have said to me. First of all, people told me that I should stop whinging about my illness and get on with vlogging. And then it was, you can't possibly have an illness because you never say anything about it. So then I talk about it again. And then I'm a fake and a fraud. So I thought it was high time I spoke up. As to whether I've decided what I'm going to do, I haven't. But I always share what I'm thinking with the world, much to some people's annoyance. Look, Bear Fam, the world is an ugly place, and I'm part of that ugliness. I said an inappropriate, revolting, disgraceful, nasty word. It must show that there are dark recesses to my mind that still need a clear out. I guess, like some of you have said, what's worrying is that Baby Bear was there, and I have had a long conversation with her. And she's forgiven me. So that's it really. If you're family, will you forgive my disgusting behaviour? Can we move on? I will leave the comments section open today so you can fill it up with some more "how dare you, you're revolting, go boil your head" comments. If I do continue, I think I might buy myself a vlogging camera and try and do it properly. Try and take some, better wildlife shots than my phone can manage. Concentrate more on my walks and just me yakking, I think. Maybe the odd snippet of Baby Bear, but I think it's better off for her in the long run, as her dad is expressed a unease with her doing it, and maybe she is too young. Maybe she should be concentrating on her future. So there'll be the odd snippet of her, but weekends. But day in and day out, weekdays, school days. I think I've said it before. I did slip back into showing her because she's there. That sounds a ridiculous thing to say, but she is so much part of my life that it is very difficult to be honest about my life without her being there. Sort of ramble. But yeah, so I'm thinking about vlogging camera, carrying on, but maybe concentrating more on the walks and the dogs and me. I'm sure you'll let me know what you think anyway. But no, I've had a long think about everything. It takes me a while to process. I think anybody that instantly comes back and says, "Oh, I'm sorry," it's a knee-jerk reaction. We've all done it. I mean, we all do it and say it when we don't actually mean it. It's just you feel that it's appropriate, so you do it. I mean, Baby Bear is the biggest culprit of that in the world. "Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry." In fact, me, I say it all the time. Sorry. Sort of excusing myself because I've always been a bit uncomfortable with myself. I've always thought if I get in first and apologise for myself, people won't dislike me. They might feel sorry for me. I don't know why I've done it. I've always done it. So I could have just said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that." Maybe that would have been the way, but it wouldn't have been an honest truth. It wouldn't have been from my heart. It would have just been, "Oh, I'm sorry." So that's why it's taken me a week. And then today I saw the sun and I saw the hill looking like this. And I knew today was the day. Today was the day to get it off my chest. I've lived with it. I've had it percolating around my head, hour in, hour out. Every time I look at my computer, every time I look at my phone, there's more on it. So I've had my arm's killing. I've had a very long period of thinking about it. Hang on, just swap hands a minute before my arm drops off. I can't do it with my left hand. I cover the camera up, you see. No, can't do it. Useless woman. It's taken me this long to really process it, get to the bottom of it, and then want to say something about it. So, for all of you that keep messaging me saying, "When are you back? When are you back? When are you back?" I don't know. Let's see. Let's see how much more people have got to say on the subject. Let's see where we're at. If we're at the "you're disgusting, go away" stage, well, maybe I will. Maybe I'll just start another channel altogether. I don't know, people. I think we should do probably a weekly live if we do carry on. Well, I should do a weekly live. Maybe stay in touch with people's feelings a bit better. get to know the bear fam a bit better. Anyway, I'm going to love and leave you from this glorious place before I slip over and make it even funnier. That's not funny at all. I don't know why I said that. See, there I go again. Gob like the Mersey Tunnel, as they say. That odd man that keeps walking around. I don't know whether he's following me, probably not. But there's this man that keeps popping up on my walks. And he hasn't got a dog. And he won't talk to me. And he just like, every time he sees a person, he diverts in the opposite direction. He's a bit like my male equivalent, really, without a dog. But he won't talk. He's just literally gone out of his way to avoid me again. Saw him yesterday. And round the pond. Right, Betham, I am going to go. Thank you for listening to me. That's all I wanted, to be listened to have my say. I'll leave you with a burst of Portland Bill. Take care of yourselves and each other, and who knows, I might catch you on the morrow.